Hello everybody, my name is Jörg and I'd like to show you why I develop a solution for SharePoint with Solution Studio by Skybow. So first of all, what I wanted to have is somehow an app that can be used by a trainer and by participants to handle assignments. So my requirement was for photography, so that somebody of my students can send in a photo or an essay of something that I requested as a to-do or an assignment for them after my live training. So I do this with Teams. Unfortunately, Teams needs or has functionality for education. However, it is not available for regular Teams for business licenses and plans. So I came over to develop my own stuff here. So this is why I use Solution Studio, because it's easy and you can fine-tune exactly to your needs. So let me start off with a few requirements or some considerations that I made when I started with creating my applications. So for the moment I click close here, and you see I already have two applications which are basically the same. One is in German and the other one is in English. And how do I start with creating an app? So I can add a new solution, of course. I can do so and do this from scratch, for example, and then you can give a name. Let's say it for now. I won't create a new one now, but I want to show you something. So my new assignment app, for example, you can give your SharePoint site that can either be on-prem or can also be online. I prefer online, of course. So Skybow Dev is a site that I created already. And as you can see, you can choose from Classic Experience and New Experience. And that's a site collection that is already created. If you prefer to create it in a sub-site and that is not existing, then you can simply say, okay, here, give my new assignment. And as you can see, it's saying now the site doesn't exist. Please enter URL of an existing one. Or you can click, of course, create site automatically. And then you can decide classic or new experience here. Choose a user that is living on the site collection or your tenant, and then you need to click on agree and start, and then the site will be created for you automatically. However, I like to do this on my own for several reasons. Depending on what you have set for your tenant, in language-wise, for example, then the site that's going to be created by Skybow Solution will depend on those settings. For example, if you have created a site collection in German language, then your solution site will also be in German. And if you don't want to have that, you simply need to do it manually or create manually a site in your tenant. As you can see, my tenant is in German. Therefore, if I would like to create or develop an English-speaking app with wordings in English, then I of course need to create a site collection that is in English or have the first language as English set. The second reason why I prefer to double check and create a site collection within the admin center is that depending on your settings that you have done on your site collection when you set it up, is whether SharePoint uses the Office 365 groups permission structure or vice versa, the SharePoint permission structure. And to have fine granulated permissions being on your hands, I always recommend to use a team site or a site that is not associated with Office 365 groups. You can do this, or you can even mix those, but it's somehow a little bit cumbersome, because not all users do have the same functionalities from both worlds on their fingertip. So there might be a reason for them to not to switch their accounts, however, to go into applications specifically to gain the functionality and see what is going on there. So, as said, what is you would probably go in here, create a new site, and again, sorry, this is in German. However, this is a team site that is associated with the Office 365 group, so that isn't the thing that you want to do in first instance. On the other hand, the communication website over here to the right has no associated Office 365 group, so can be used somehow, but the layout, of course, is some different. The option I recommend is to go to other options and choose the first point here, team website, give it a name, set the primary administrator, and here you see the first or the second benefit. The first one was that you can choose from a template that you want, and the second one is that you can choose the main language, and then you can set up the time zone of your site. I don't go and create a site now. However, what I have done, I have created the Skybow dev, and I go to that site. And the primary language I set for this page was, or site collection was, English, or is English. However, as said, my tenant usually is in German, and I need to switch the site to English, although it is in English. So what I go and do is go to the site settings, and from the site settings I choose the language settings. As you can see, the standard is English. However, the steps you need to take to make the site really English, because the user settings are displaying the language that you prefer to see. So if I simply untick German and hit save, you immediately see that the entire site is now responding in English, and then you have the menus, etc., all in English. And that's why I also prefer to create the site not from the Solution Studio. I prefer to do it manually, as said. Now, then you can start off from scratch, as said, and start developing your site. Either you create a sub-site in your new created site collection, or use the site collection itself for your solution. Now, I have done that all for you because it takes a little bit longer than just a few minutes, or this short video I wanted to produce for you. So I can demonstrate what I did. So, and I choose for the photo assignments app and show the things what I done. Okay, for designing a app you require to have lists. At least for me that was one requirement. You can create those lists in your site collection already, and when adding these lists to your library, to your solution, you come over here to dossier and say use an existing list from SharePoint, and then you can choose your lists that do live there. Or you can create, and what I do prefer, to create these lists that you need in your Solution Studio. Then you go to one of the predefined lists, of course, that you can have. These are all from your SharePoint. Or create a custom list, giving it a name, define the columns, and even you can design a sub-items list from here, and then Solution Studio is going to create those lists for you. And I did so. So I used the Solution Studio to create those lists. For example, here in the assignments, after you have created that list, you can of course come back and do changes to your list. And especially here in the background, you see how it looks like when you create a list from your dossier add dialog. The first thing I like to mention is that if you are going to create your lists, you should give short names without any special characters, without any blanks. Otherwise you end up with not so nice looking names in the background, and those names in the background are these here. As you can see, this is usually the title column that I renamed for me to assignment. And another reason for when creating a list, you can simply drag and drop those columns to the order that you need while creating the list, and you decide, okay, I want to have the look up to my assignments, for example, on top. I don't gonna go and change this now. So that's another reason, but you can simply create those lists out of the box here in Solution Studio and just hit the add and follow the dialog. All that is already done. What I did is I started with the assignments list, which is just a simple list that gives the assignment name, therefore it is the title, and then the definition of the assignment, so the to-do description or assignment description. Then I created the My Assignments list. That is usually the list that the participants will work with, whereas the assignment list is something that me as a trainer is basically working on. So yeah, and here in the background I can show you the columns just to explain. As you can see, I have again renamed the title to participant, and this is the assignment, which is a lookup to my assignments list, and that's the reason why I created the assignments list first. Then I can do a lookup to my assignments, and as you can see, I have written all my names together without any blanks in it, just to have those nice looking single words in the background to work with. After you have done that, you can simply come in here and then make your wording look correct or as you like, and bring in the blanks, because the internal names will never change. So you can change that and simply change the names, and they will also be renamed on your views as well, but that's something that is common in SharePoint. However, the names in the background will not change. Okay, that's it. So it's always a good thing to save your work when you have done changes or from time to time. However, everything should be okay. If you tend to move away from a page and there is a requirement to save the settings, you get a warning that you need to hit save first, or you will be asked, should I save your changes before? And then you're good to go. Okay, yeah, here you can do some other stuff like settings, or you can define if you would like to add the content that you do work with to test your assignment. And you can all set this here, and on what you can see or what you see, you can design your views and your forms, which is as always a display form, a new form, and an edit form. And I go into the details in short. What I have done to make the application work like I required. Another thing is what I wanted to say in regards to permissions, because I highly use some functionality based on the function that the user has. Either it is me as a trainer or a participant. So participants do not see all and cannot do all that a trainer, me, can do. And that's is what I want to show you here in short. To be able to do so, you need to have the SharePoint permission structure in place on your site. Otherwise, if you have the Office 365 groups permission model in place, you are not able to do and fine-tune everything, or with restrictions in regards to the experience within Office 365, etc. Okay, I like to show you some techniques that I use to make these forms kind of an app, so my solution. The assignments list does have no special things. There are a few special things. I just hide stuff that users prevent from deleting or adding new assignments, because me as a trainer, I want to give those assignments only. The My Assignments list will display all the assignments that I have assigned to users. Means I choose one of my participants, my students, assign a assignment from the assignment list to him, give a start date, give a due date, and the participant will not see his assignments until the start date is coming, and then he can work off from the assignments list and submit his assignments. So the new form is something that me as a trainer is usually using, and the real hard, then where most of the people work with me as a trainer, is the edit form. So I go to the edit form. I show you now some techniques that I use. First of all, I use modern forms. Means I cannot add currently these out of the box buttons. Therefore, I do hide them, and I hide the entire row here. So the only thing is that I put in visible to false, and that's it. Hiding those buttons means I need to have somewhere else the option where the action takes place, and these are really the actions. And this is the command bar, which is on top. So on all my forms, I do hide the entire row where the buttons, the out of the box buttons are, and add my own actions. The actions are pre-configured if you use these. Stop, save, and cancel mostly there. And here I show you what I do. I have these actions configured already. So cancel is available for all, nothing to do here, or nothing to show here. And here with accept, I show you what I do. Means I set an assignment, only then can be accepted when the status is open, or if I has reviewed the submission and put it back to a new revision. Means there is something that I require to see in their assignments or in their work that is not yet delivered. So I set the status to needs revision. And they can only accept to work on an open assignment, or if they have to do some additional work. So this will only show when the status is open as set or needs revision. And here are then the action that I take. I set the status in progress, so, and then save the form. Yeah. Then the users can submit. Again, they can only submit something when they work on it. Means either it was open and they directly submit it without saving it, and if it is if it is in progress. So that's it. And again here, same, if open or in progress, set the value to submit, and close form. I'm not yet ready with all the details, but what I will add as an action additionally, I will add an action that will send out a notification. Means I set an action that will send out an email to me, and that I know, okay, there is a new submission. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, the save is just will be hidden when a assignment is closed, and I have set this assignment as passed. Means the trainee has delivered all his duties in this assignment. Then I had save it, and or I will approve it, and then there's no need to do any changes any longer. Means the save button will be hidden, and just if you go in, try to edit, you just can cancel. So no more additions done. So this is now the approve and reject button. These will be hidden for trainees, for participants, because I set this only to be visible if the user accessing the thing, the item, it will here just be a trainer that can see it, and you just can see the approve button if the status is in submit or submitted. And again here I just set the status to pass as said before with the approve button, and save and closed form. Of course here would be another action to send out an email like, congratulations, you just passed your assignment, blah blah blah, etc. And of course I can reject something if the solution they provided is not satisfying me. So again, only visible for a trainer and only for and the status needs to be submitted, that these reject will appear, that reject action button will appear, and it appears on top. And again here just saving and yeah, setting the status to needs revision. So that's all. What I also suggest is, if you are developing a solution, make sure you have some sample data in your lists, because then you can check and test. And for example, if I go here to the command bar again and probably go here, I don't know if I have now sample data ready. Sorry, here I want to go. So here it is. So I do have two entries for the same participant, and I can test, and you see the status is either open or needs revision, means true. So the button or the action button would be shown. Means now I want to show you. So you have a play button here, and you go directly into an entry. So I'm logged in as a trainer, means I can see the approve and reject button. So the user, which it's in this case also me, but with a different account. I have the assignment, I have the definition. You see this sentence multiple times. I just want to have a look how it behaves when the definition is longer. And you can see the user has submitted it on due date, and now I can approve, and it's passed, and you see that it is passed. Of course, I could give commands into it, and here is another example. I can work on it, edit, and yeah, it's still open. So I see, of course, accept and submit, although I'm not going to do this or use it, because I'm not with this account I'm not the trainee, the participant. So I hit cancel here. Now I switch to a view that the participant will see. Okay, now I switched the browsers. I'm now in Chrome, and I'm logged in as Jörg Knörchen. This is my non-admin account, so now I'm acting as a trainee or a participant, and I can see my photo assignments here. The one we have recently seen as passed, and I already went in here and accepted it, and now you see that it is in progress. Now I want to alter my entry and work on it on this assignment, for example. So it loads, and after loading, as we are still in the display form, I can click here on work on my assignment or work on assignment, and you can see I can submit it after I have done the work, or simply save it and come back at a later stage to finish my work and then submit it. So here you see, here's the submission, and I can edit it and insert images from my computer. Let's do that. Try it. Just find something. Yeah, I take that one right away, so no worries. And go back and save. And now I simply submit it and close it. Yeah, that's it. That is how it looks like here. Just go in again, and you can see I do not have any options any longer to submit it, because it's already submitted. And what I have done, of course, you should see, and I'm switching back to the admin account. I should see the date when it has submitted. So that is not yet here, so I need to double check what I've done, and I take you with me to check that. So I go back to the solution, and I look for the action, submit, configure actions. Oh yeah, I forgot to set the value, so I simply add another set form field value, choose the submit date. Where is it? Set form value, and here we go, the submission date. and the value I need here is simply new date. You can simply, if you know everything, you can simply do it like that way, or you can of course come here to the expression builder, and also you can do a test. You see it is bringing here the current date, etc. And I hit save, save again, okay, here save, close it, and hit save again. And if I would now have a entry that is open or can be submitted, then probably I can simulate this because me as a I don't have access here. Means to gain access again and change the status. Oh, I can do it that way. That's what it was meant to be. So I added this entry. I simply reject it. Needs revision. Now switching back to the user. Here at the user, let me check if I'm here. It's still right. Yeah, this is my user as a trainee or a participant. As you can see now, this is in revision, and I simply double check now if my latest additions, so setting the submit date. First, of course, I have to accept that it needs to be revisioned and submit it and close it. And you see now the submission date is in here. So all good. So next steps for me when I work on here is that I, of course, double check all functionalities if they work, if the hiding features are set properly, if there are some unwanted actions available for a trainee or for the participant and the trainer. For example, that the trainer cannot see, accept, submit, etc. This is something I wanted to remove. So make it a little bit user proof that a user cannot do what he is not supposed to do. And then in the final stage, I simply connect that form directly into Teams, so that the user do not have to leave Teams and simply can work on the list from there, and that's it. So that were my needs, to have a kind of assignment app that handles the assignments, assigning an assignment, working on assignment, and have a little workflow and GUI to work with. I hope you find this a little bit beneficial. Would like to show you more once I'm done. Thank you so much, and have fun with Skybow Solution Studio.